Hello, all out there. Hi, guys and gals. I'm going to go live with Maria, and she is going to introduce herself in a little bit. So, we are talking about impact because this month has the theme impact, which is suggested by Bunny from Posh Notions, and Evan made it into this month's theme. So, from Body Confidence Solutions. And there she is. Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Lexi?
Still a little bit sleepy, but otherwise I'm doing good.
I like this on your face. What is that? Is that a tattoo or is that just a filter?
It's a filter, and if it is up to me, it will become a tattoo, but I don't think many tattoo artists will do this. You know Kat Von D?
What's that?
Do you know Kat Von D? Kat Von D? Never heard of her. Oh, she was on this show. I don't know which show it was at first, but she had LA Ink, which was a spin-off of the original. I think it was New York Ink. So, and here we have Vera. She's a friend, and she says just ask. Well, I did ask, and no, a lot of people have said no, we're not going to do it. And the funny thing is, Vero, you can see her right now. It's La Vero Official. She actually gave me these star stamps to put on there, so she knows I totally dig it. But I'll show you later on. So, Libero Alvesana.
Let me ask you something, Lexi. It's saying share video. Should I push that? Will that share that with my community, or
yeah, sure.
Does it?
Go ahead and do it.
No, it's just that gives just individuals.
Oh, okay. Well, if
I'm not going to do that.
You want to invite, just do it.
Yeah, I'll just go with this. Yeah. So thanks for doing this. I figured let me seize the moment because I've been on the edge of not feeling good, but this actually makes me feel better to just get out of myself and talk. And so
that's so awesome. So I wanted to ask you, because I heard you had COVID, and we're talking about impact anyway. So how has COVID, I'm still waking up, I'm sorry. How's COVID, how has it impacted your life?
Well, I mean, it certainly slowed everything down and, forced me to just go to bed and take care of myself. It's interesting because my daughter got it first, like the day before Christmas, and she got it pretty bad. She was pretty sick. And then I think my husband got it. I thought I actually escaped it, which is interesting because I can get sick, particularly around the holiday time, but I felt like my immune system was strong and I was doing good, and it went through everybody. My daughter, my son-in-law, even my grandchildren got it. They didn't get it all that bad. My daughter had it probably the worst. And then my husband got it. And then he started feeling better. And then all of a sudden, I started with chills in the middle of the night and headachy. And there you go. So I had it. There's a lot of sleeping. It's been sort of a slow coming back. I've been pretty tired and giving into it for the most part. I've been giving into it. I've been working a bit, but doing minimal. And just letting myself nap if I need to. So that's how it's impacted my life. It's just forced me to sort of slow down in all areas, which is a good thing. I mean, I think that when your body is sick, it needs to restore itself. And there's that line of, like I said today, just talking to somebody and getting out of myself just gets the energy flowing too. So sort of finding where is that resting that's restorative, and then where is that to just start pushing yourself to start to get back into the flow of things. So I actually went out for a walk today. It was beautiful. The weather's been really warm the last couple of days. I went for a walk yesterday and a walk for today. But yeah, so that was the impact of COVID. And
Okay.
yeah, it's sort
Well,
of going like wildfire through here, probably all over. A
yeah,
lot of
that's
people are
correct.
getting it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who have contracted COVID, and some of them were vaccinated, some were not. And um, so you were vaccinated, right?
I was, yes.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
did get chills and you are tired. That's basically what I heard from someone else too. But you said your daughter had it worse.
She had it pretty bad. She ran a high fever for a couple of days, and she said she's never been sicker in her whole life. So I think my son-in-law was pretty nervous about that, and because she doesn't really get sick very often.
Yeah,
So
I guess that's the
are you hearing that noise in the background now?
which noise?
Do you hear
Yeah,
background
sometimes I
noise?
hear a little something like an interference, but can you
Okay,
hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I heard a little. I heard from a number of people who actually didn't get vaccinated that it was way worse than the flu. By the way, Vero says, "Have a great time, ladies. It's bedtime for me now." And she says to you, "I am I'm happy you're doing better now." Positive vibes. Then she's a darling. So
So
I actually do.
have you been doing some collabs with the impact theme?
Well, I've been on the show from Send the Man, and every time it's the beginning of the month, he just sets us aside one by one, so we can talk to one another. So he gets others out of the way, and then so he can do collabs with each of us. And sometimes he has us do collabs with one another as well. So I did a collaboration with Sen about it on his show. Same story with Bonnie, still on his show. It was like a 2 minute collab, you
Nice.
know. 2 minutes for me, that's horrible. I'm really terrible on when it comes to doing short collaborations. And who did I do collaborations with? I'm pretty sure I talked to other people about it as well. Um, I I can't recall right now, but I did.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I did. I did my own video about it.
Oh,
So
you
just
did it. I
for
haven't done
for
that
us.
yet. I haven't done
Okay.
that yet. I actually did a collab with Wheels to Warriors,
Yeah,
Michael.
Wilson Warriors. That's Michael. He's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So that was sweet. That was the first time I actually initiated a live and invited someone. So that was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said he's a little bit shy when it comes to live. So kudos to you, Michael. I'm going to tag you and say you did
Yeah.
it. He's not much of a speaker, he says. Actually, I think he's good at it.
Yes, yes, it was good. You can watch it. It's on my page. It was fun to do, and it was nice. It was nice to get to know him, and so we both spoke about impact on that one live together. So I don't know if you want to do that here. We can do that. You know.
Well, later on, I want you to switch around.
Okay.
For those who are
We'll see how
watching
the
and wondering
timing
why is she
goes.
saying so, um, Maria still has to learn how to do the IG live and all that stuff. So I said, okay, first I'm going to do a live from here, and I am going to ask you some questions, and then I'm going to save it, um, change the description or add the description, tag you if that's possible. I never know. I believe in post it's possible, and in live it's not, or the other way around. I don't know. It's Instagram sometimes is still a mystery to me. And then we're going to switch around, so then you can go live and invite me and ask me the questions. Is that okay?
That's great. We'll just have to
Although,
see how the timing goes because I have about 45 minutes before I have
yeah,
to move on. Yeah.
that's okay. Well, you can ask me about the impact right now if you want to. Um,
Well, why
but
don't you
other,
go first then if you have questions for me? Did you just want to ask me about the impact of COVID?
no, 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 no. I've got lots more questions for you if you want to answer them, of course.
Yeah, I'm happy
So,
to.
how long have you been part of Movement Makers now? A couple of months?
No, just a couple of weeks actually.
Couple of weeks. Oh,
Well,
to me,
I
it's
did
like
this,
you've been there
this
forever.
was this, I joined the day before the first, the, not the live training that we just had, but in December, the day before the December live training. So at the end of December, I joined.
Okay, so that must have been the third Thursday in December.
Yeah.
And then we had a new one last Thursday. Okay, that's why I came up with two. Yeah, they're two sessions a month, so that makes sense. So, what made you decide to join Essence Movement Makers?
So I've been looking around for community coaching. You know, I believe in coaching, and I have coaches in my life. But I've been very interested in cleaning up my YouTube channel and optimizing it, making it better, learning how to make better videos. So I was looking around for some kind of coaching program around that, honestly. And then I came across, I had seen Evan's stuff before this year. Like I had watched some of his videos in the past, but for some reason I just got caught in, and I did like his 30-day challenge. But way before I finished the 30-day challenge, I realized that I was going to step into Movement Makers because I just liked what he's about. I've listened to the audiobook a couple of times. I actually bought the book. I have both his books, and I just like what he's about, his intention, and his interest in supporting entrepreneurs and building community and all of that. So I decided to step into Movement Makers, and I feel so grateful that I did. It's greater than I anticipated. It's a beautiful community. I don't have to tell you. It's just a beautiful community, and there's just so much support and encouragement, and I'm learning a lot already. So, and I've been applying. I mean, COVID took me down the last couple of weeks, so I broke some momentum. But even with my voice like this the other day, because I said I'm definitely making a YouTube video at least once a week right now to start. And even with my voice down, I made a video the other day. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. And I'm using, like just using what I'm learning from him to just improve the quality of my videos. And I have a friend who does, she does, what do you call it? She does video stuff, and we actually did a trade, so she's going to help me with some stuff on my channel. And so I'm feeling really optimistic about just optimizing my offering to the community, and how I can serve my community, women who are struggling with food, weight, and body image. I want to expand the amount of women that I can help in that area. So yeah, so that's what inspired me to step into Movement Makers. And like I said, it's been greater than I had anticipated, because the not only the trainings and the inspiration from Evan, but also the inspiration and the generosity and the love and the sense of family from all of the people that I've encountered so far has been magnificent. And you actually started that whole thing, because you were the first one to initiate inviting me right away. I mean, it was like immediately. I think it was like I was just stepped in, and you were like, let's get on Instagram Live, and I
Yeah, I
love that.
believe
Just
I did it. That's a very same uh, call he was on. I believe I invited you straight away. That's
it's
correct.
great to
There's
just
never,
jump in.
I mean, if you want to go learn it, then go dive. What is it? Feet first? No, head in first. Well, you can dive feet in first, but you know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great community. It's really like family. And Evan started doing these challenges since September, and I think we have been growing together ever since, or since October. You did actually since October. So that's really made a difference when it comes to the community. And people. And he actually says like, okay, don't go live with the same people, but try and see if you can get fresh blood at 3 meal challenge. which is
Yes.
basically what I'm trying to do, you know, get to meet new people and see what they're about. You know, I'm curious by nature, so I love to ask dozens of questions. So, if you had to say, no, if you had to name one thing that you said, that's what I picked up from movement makers, and that's what I'm using right now. What is it?
One thing that I picked up from movement makers and that I'm using right now,
Mm-hmm.
well, just stepping into Instagram, doing some lives on Instagram has been new for me. And so, yeah, I'm just have that intention in my mind of, yeah, just showing up and doing things that are, like I'm loving this stuff. It doesn't feel so scary to me. You know, once you start doing it, and even making my YouTube videos now are becoming more fun rather
Mm-hmm.
than, you know, stress. Like I'm just flowing with it more. And so I'm enjoying that. So it's hard to
That's good.
pinpoint one thing. Um, but I think the idea of, you know, that I like the theme of impact. Like I'm even thinking right now, impact when I do like my YouTube lives or my YouTube videos for my community, that, you know, using that word impact and looking at, you know, what can impact people taking care of themselves. Like what would, you know, how actually the impact that taking good care of yourself has on not only your own health and well-being, but it has the impact it has in all areas of your life. You know, it makes such a huge difference when you can really honor yourself and your body, and you show up differently in all areas, in your business, in your work, in your relationships, you know.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
so
hard for me to
true.
narrow it
So
down. I'm sorry.
I love the theme of impact, especially where the I'm really I don't know, my mind is a little bit foggy, especially when it comes to what you are about, your brand with the body, mind, and spirit. I'm saying body confidence, body and
Yes.
mind confidence. Yes,
But it's really
there
body, it
we
is body,
go.
mind, and spirit. I work on all three levels because
Yes.
it really is integrating all three to be balanced and
So let
so that
me get back to that in a sec. I just want to ask you something else first before I forget. So you have been doing videos for YouTube, right?
yes,
Have you already been doing videos which are longer than 10 minutes?
yes,
Okay, because that's Evan's challenge. And I basically I mix it a little bit with what Brandon Burchard. I don't know. Do you know Brandon Burchard?
yes,
Okay, okay. So Brandon actually says if you ever want to do give training or you want to be on stage and you want to be a speaker, then you need to be able to talk straight away, uh, and you cannot edit. That's basically what he says. So write down like a few pointers, like okay, this is what you want to talk about, then just go for it. And yeah, okay. So you may make mistakes, but okay, who cares? So combine that with what Evan is saying, and he's saying it's so nice to look back on the old videos compared to the new ones nowadays. And
hmm
he's so right. I mean, I've been looking at some older videos compared to how I am now, and for one thing, the biggest change I noticed is actually the big smile I've got on my face, which probably is also the result of going live with people because I like to interact with people. So here's the next question when it comes to YouTube and Instagram. What do you like better? Instagram live, Instagram without an audience, or YouTube? What makes a difference for you?
So I'm still very new to Instagram Lives, and I haven't done a lot of it at all, you know. And like I said, I'm revising my YouTube, so I don't know if this better. I haven't done any YouTube lives yet. I'm going to, you know, I'm that's like on my to-do list because I want to learn a little bit about StreamYard and start doing a YouTube live, maybe a weekly YouTube live where I can do Q&A. I do something called Meetup, and I have a couple times a month I have a free circle that I run in Meetup for women that are interested in learning more about healing their relationship to food, weight, and body image. And one of the things that so I work with strategies and techniques, but I also do energy work, and I'm a master practitioner of something called emotional freedom techniques, tapping, and other kinds of energy work. So I really work, my work is not only theoretical, we don't talk about this stuff, but I teach cognitive somatic techniques so that we're changing the neuroplasticity of the brain, so I teach a lot of those things in my coaching and in my meetups and in my YouTubes. I teach people how to do certain techniques so that they can not only identify what they want to change, but the techniques that can actually help them to change.
Yeah, that sounds good. It's always about both doing theory and doing something practical. So Shay is here too. You know Shay, Sharon?
I think I've seen her at at one of Zan's gatherings.
Yeah, that could be true.
Yeah,
So are you ready for the next level if she wants to, and see if we can make it a? It sounds
Make what?
really bad. She can't hear anything. That's weird, Shay. You should be able to hear us. Well, I wanted to say, are you ready to do a threesome? And that sounds a little bit, the way it isn't meant, but it's the next step because we can go up to live with 4 people on Instagram.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, but I'm open to whatever you go with it, how you want to do this. Yeah.
Well, let's see. Okay, Shay, which of the two is it you cannot hear? Is it Maria or is it me? You can hear me just fine, right, Maria?
I can hear you. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. So it looks like it's something on Shay's end.
Uh-huh. The volume is all the way up.
Well, if you shut down Instagram and then you get it back up again, and check if you've got, sometimes I use my in-ears, and when they are not connected, they are actually connected to my phone, and then I can't hear anything on the speakers. And then when I close them, to one another, put them to one another, then they shut down from the phone. So you might want to check if something is connected on Bluetooth on your phone that you do not know about. Maybe check something else on your phone first. If you can, put on the sound, can check if you can hear it. Yeah, I'm always, a little bit of a. And once the volume is okay, then if you want to, maybe you can join. I'm not sure if she can hear anything I say because the volume is. Yeah. Okay, this is going to be hard. I'm going to focus on you for a sec because she can't hear anything I'm saying, and I'm pretty sure that the subtitles aren't on. So, yeah. So going back to impact, you talked about doing things theoretically. You talked about how you can get it into practice. So, if you want to. How would you make an impact, or how do you intend to make an impact on those who subscribe to you or listen to you when you're listening to this live or follow your trainings? I don't know. Do you do coaching too?
Yes.
Okay, or follow your coaching. How do you make an impact on them?
So I feel that the area that is one area that is sort of my gift or my expertise is that I'm very successful in holding space for people so that they can access the wisdom within themselves. So as a healer and as a coach, certainly I know the questions to ask, and I know the areas to start to address. To if a person is struggling with something, I give a perspective to start looking at some, because a lot of times the problem is the tip of the iceberg, and just to start to address the underlying. But ultimately, I like to guide people to listen within themselves, because I think we all have our own answers within ourselves. And so as a coach, I'm not telling somebody what, how they're feeling, or even what they need to do. I'm making suggestions, of course, and I'm holding space, but ultimately we get to the core of, what is it that, what is it that they want, and why is it that they want it? And then how can we heal the blockages that are keeping them from actualizing what it is that they want in their life, whether that's to have a healthier relationship with food or their body, or to start to take better care of themselves, start to realize that they're valuable and they're worthy. I am enough, those kind of issues. So I address a lot of the misguided limiting beliefs that sort of keep us from standing in the fullness of who we are. And ultimately, as we release those blockages, then that person's natural self comes forward, So I like to believe that the impact that I make is that I can help people access their inner self, their inner genius. Their, if you look at the testimonials on my website and the feedback that I get from people, I think that that's basically what people recognize about me, that I can help them to be a better version of themselves, freed from the things that are holding them back from living their greatest self.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what you said about recognizing that one thing in the person and being able to continue down the path to find out, okay, what is it they're actually talking about? What is it they need? That's that's of course that's a skill in itself. Not everyone can do it. So I love it when you say it. I totally get it what you're talking about. It's sometimes it's what I always say for me. It's like the way they look, the things they say, or the things they do not say, or jump over really quickly. And unless I'm very mistaken, that's something you do too. Pick up on those little clues. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
well, I think that a lot of times we're in our heads, and what I really like to guide people is to, how are the feeling? What is the feeling? Because
Mm.
that the feelings is what, connecting the heart and the head, body, mind, and spirit, right? When the head is saying one thing, but the heart is really feeling something else, then there's a disconnect. So just simply asking, how does that feel? How does that feel? Really helps people uncover things that, because like I said, we're so busy in our heads sometimes that we're not even aware of how certain things are how we feel about certain things, and how that is affecting our energy, even, our, and how we stand in the world, how we,
Yeah,
operate.
that's true. And what I like about what you say, and as someone explained it to me, they said basically you have your brain in your head, which is basically what I call the conscious part, the chatterbox. And then when you go to your heart, that's basically also where the brain is. Or maybe some people say actually that's where you have to make the decisions, not from your head, but from your heart. And then, of course, some say you can also use your gut. So when I tend to make decisions, which are really hard, I've learned to put one hand on my heart and the other one on my head. And oh, my hand is warm. I didn't realize it. And to connect the both of them together, because the subconscious mind and the feelings are, of course, more related inside our system. And like you said,
Yes.
that's the mountain hidden under the level of the ocean of what's visible. So, one more question, and then I suggest we're going to switch. And that one question is um, you've experienced COVID, and regardless that it was COVID, you felt somewhat under the weather. You've been tired for a couple of weeks. So, what what have you? I mean, you are the one who talks about um, mind, body, and basically take care of your spirit. So, is one thing that you say, okay, because of those couple of weeks, what I lived through, um, and maybe previous experiences too. What is it you would like to suggest, or what has changed for you because of you having to take a step back? So basically, what did you pick up on, and do you have any suggestions for other people to do certain things or not do it, do that, or to not do them?
Well, I think that you know, when our body is ailing in some way, when we get sick, we get a virus or we get hurt in some way, you know, there's a wisdom. Our body has a wisdom all its own, and surrendering to it and allowing yourself deep rest is important. And a lot of times, I know for me, through the early part of my life, I was more of a human doing rather than a human being. And I have history where I've gone to work with pneumonia because I didn't feel it was okay to surrender to being sick. And, you know, I felt like my worth was based on how much I produced and the money I made. And I've come a long ways from that, you know, and allowing myself to be and allowing my body to be. But there's a wisdom. I believe our bodies are amazing mechanisms, and that our true blueprint is one of health and wholeness and well-being. But when we try to control the body with our head, we're not really in alignment with our body. So the body has an intrinsic, you know, it always wants to create homeostasis and balance, and giving into it, allowing yourself to rest deeply. I mean, I drank a lot of fluids, I took a few supplements, but basically I just rested a lot and allowed myself, because there was a part of me that, you know, wants to like feel, because I feel like that those old feelings of like I should be doing something more can creep up easily. But just to surrender to it and release that, and just trusting that, you know, giving my body the healing and the nurturance that it needs so that it can heal is you know, being a good steward to my body. I think that we're disconnected from our bodies. You know, the body is the subconscious part, of the part that holds our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts, our memories. And the conscious mind is almost like the mother, you know, and the mother can take care of the subconscious by being a good steward to the body, right? It carries our spirit. It carries, you know, it's an amazing mechanism that that I think in our Western culture, we're not always honoring the wisdom of our body. And so I think that for me, in my life, this is one of the biggest lessons that that I've learned. And I think that you know, if anybody's interested in healing, in an approach that I take to healing, I think that there's a strong mind-body connection. And I can talk to you about, you know, this, I have techniques that can help with pain in the body and physical issues in the body, because the mind is very powerful and can affect how we're feeling in our body. But listening to the body and coming into a healthier relationship with the body will not do you, will not, it will always serve you. Yeah. So I
So,
guess
if
if
there's
anybody,
anyone out there who says,
mhm.
okay, I like what you say, but sometimes it's a little woo, you know, those people are out there who say, okay, you know, for those who are known to talk about feelings and spirituality, they totally understand where you're coming from. And by the way, someone else said the brain is the driver or the head, and our body is the vessel. That's a comparison I like really well as well. So for those who are really down to earth, what would you say to them?
I would say give into it. If your body's sick, just let yourself be sick. Just give into it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
release
you
as much
also
stress
talked
as you
about,
can. Release as much stress as you can. Don't go into fear and worry, because that's not going to help your body heal. The more you can de-stress yourself, maybe put on some funny music, funny shows. Laughter is a great healing remedy. It really helps the body heal. So just let yourself relax and laugh and de-stress as much as you can, and that will help your body to heal. If you go into worry, fear, stress, that's going to negatively affect your body's ability to heal itself.
I love it. I love it. So little people actually emphasize the importance of laughter. And that brings me to the very last thing. Yeah, it's for me, it's difficult to quit right away. Those who've been live with me more often, they know it. Um, and I completely forgot the question, so I'm going to take 1 second. Those who've seen me more often, they know I've got brain fog every now and then. So when I really want to focus on something, then phew, everything goes out the window. Um, so what was it again that I wanted to? Oh my, I really forgot about it. That's not good. Um, well, maybe you can ask me again when we switch. Um, ah, this is terrible.
It,
I'm like, oh yeah, I remember again. Yeah, I've got it. The moment that I focus on something else, that's when the brain fog basically goes away because I take away the pressure. So that's sort of the way it works. I've got a hyper mind, so it goes all over the place. So you said um, at some point you made a lot of money, and then you said, okay, I don't know if that's that important. So when it comes to impact, what would you say you'd rather do when it comes to impact? What you did before or what you are doing now?
did I say I made a lot of money?
Well, you made money. Let's put it that way.
Oh, I mean, I put money ahead of my health.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So
I've
for the
made comfortable money in my lifetime. I've had many careers in my lifetime, and I have no regrets, I should say. I think that everything has been connected to the work I do today. I mean, I've been coaching women since 2005, but I also have a master's in education and I taught elementary school. But prior to that, I have a background in addictive behaviors and I worked in an eating disorder unit and studied with addictive behaviors. And so I have, and then I'm a yoga teacher. And so a lot of the work that I've done over the years has been to heal my own body mind connection, to heal my own issues around food, weight, and body image. And along the way, though, I always sort of organically attracted other people that I might have been a few steps ahead of that I could help. So from the time I started, I guess, teaching yoga, which was around 2005, I started having yoga classes in my living room. I got rid of all my furniture, and then I ended up having to get studio space. But that's where I started to coach women that had these issues around food, weight, and body image. So um, I don't know if it's either or. I feel like I'm doing more fully the work that I'm called to do now, but I think that everything that I've done up to this point have taught me a lot about myself, about knowing, what really turns me on. I feel like I'm a teacher at heart. I love teaching. I love supporting people. I love helping people to have more freedom in their life. It's very gratifying. And so I find that work is, like I said, very gratifying. Did that answer your
so do you
question?
believe that when you started giving yoga classes, that's when you started having a bigger impact on people?
I think honestly, Lexi, it's interesting. A good friend of mine just passed away a few days ago, and I've been thinking about him a lot. I know him for about 40 years. He's on the East Coast now. I'm originally from New York. Now I live on the West Coast. And I've been thinking about the impact that he had on his life, on my life, and the impact he's had on many people's lives, and the impact we all had on each other's lives over the years. And I've been blessed to have some friends for a very long time. And I think that as we get older, we start to realize sometimes we make an impact that we don't even realize.
True.
But every relationship we have, I believe, is significant. I mean, I feel like when I was a school teacher, I was in a position to really impact the lives of those children. You know, it was a big
Yep.
responsibility because, you know, and not only the children, but the parents of the children, because I worked in a community where my parents were younger. They could have been my children. You know, there were kids having kids where I worked. And so I was not only, you know, helping the little ones, but then I was sort of helping the parents be parents, you know. So I think that, you know, as we get older, I think we can sometimes realize the significance of the impact that we can have on each other. And with that comes a sense of responsibility, to be responsible with our words, to be responsible with our intention, to be mindful of what we're putting out there in the world, because we can, you know, have an impact negatively or positively on people. And I hope to, you know, have a positive influence on the lives that I touch, as the significant people that have touched my life have. Also, I have to say though, some people that have impacted my life negatively have helped me to become a much stronger human being, have forced
That's
me
true.
to create, to evolve into a being that I would not have become if I didn't have those tough relationships in my life.
Yes, I agree. I know exactly what you mean. So basically, what you're saying, and I want to say this, kudos for having been a teacher, and for all those teachers out there who teach children, your role is so immensely important. Let's not underestimate it. I mean, the children need the guidance the most. What's right, what's wrong, what to do, how to be able to ask questions, feeling safe and supported, you know, when growing up, and when they're at school. So being listened to as well. So I want to say thank you for having done so. But what I hear from your story is that it's not so much that the impact has changed, but it's more you are more aware of the impact you have on people's lives and people have had on your life. Is that correct?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to end this
Excuse me.
live. For those who want to watch, we are going to Maria's live in a sec, and then I'll be joining her. I do need a few minutes to add the description and say that
Yeah, I'm
from past.
wondering, Lexi, if we should maybe, because it's now 5:30, I have about 15 minutes. Well, I think we can do it for in
Yeah, we
15.
can do it
Yeah,
in under
okay.
50 minutes. So I'll just put a couple of dots in there and I'll edit it later on.
Okay, great. I appreciate you doing this. It's been
Yes.
wonderful to chat with you. Thank you for initiating this, and
I'll see you in a minute.
I'll see you in a minute.